Hello and namaste friends. I am Dr. Ganesh Prajapat. In today's e-lecture, we are going to discuss about the government schemes and policies which are availed by the center and state governments for the utilization of solar energy. So let we go to the introduction of the various schemes and policies. So as we have discussed in earlier e-lectures that India is blessed with abundant solar energy potential with 300 days of sunlight. So we have much amount of solar radiation so that can be utilized for the generation of electrical power from the solar energy. So that is why the government henceforth aims to create solar schemes to use this renewable source of energy efficiently. Since the installation of the solar energy conversion systems, either in the form of solar park or solar PV systems or some other way, that is comparatively costly. So government, either state or center, must provide some incentives or some subsidies to the customers or to the power generation companies so that they can install more and more solar PV systems or the solar energy conversion systems. So that is why the subsidies, incentives are provided for the solar rooftop installation as per the guidelines of Ministry of New and Renewable Energy of Government of India as well as the state governments. Further, the state and central government is also providing incentives, subsidies to promote the use of solar energy by the farmers under Prime Minister KUSUM project. We will discuss in detail about this project which is there for the farmers. It is basically two types, one for the installation of solar PV systems in unused lands of the farmers, and another one is for the installation of solar water pump. Then further, SECI, that is Solar Energy Corporation India Limited, a central public sector enterprise under Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, has been implementing various schemes to develop solar sector in the country. Basically, this is one of the public sector enterprises set up by the MNRE for the liaising in between the state and central government for the utilization of the funds to be given to be customers or some industrialists for the development of solar energy systems. Then to promote the research and development relevant to the solar systems, there is one institute set up by the Government of India, that is NISE, National Institute of Solar Energy, which is an apex national research and development institution in the field of solar energy. However, there is one more such a national institute set up by the Government of India for the wind energy also, that is NIWE, that is for National Institute of Wind Energy. So similar to that, there is one institute for the research and development relevant to these solar energy systems. Further, there is one international corporation is also there, that is ISA, International Solar Alliance, has also been set up through which they will collectively address key common challenges to the scaling up of the solar energy. So basically, this alliance is made by a number of countries. So around 80 to 90 countries are there in this alliance for the proper utilization and the sharing of the research research areas relevant to the solar energy. So from next onwards, we will discuss about the various schemes like PM-KUSUM, solar rooftop installation systems, and the all other ones one by one. So first, let we go to the rooftop solar installations. So this is one of the scheme availed by the center as well as the state government that the solar PV systems or the solar PV plates can be installed at our houses for which government is availing the subsidies or the incentives. So this is the screenshot taken from the website of MNRE, that is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Systems Energy, Government of India. Actually there is the subsidy here, it is written in Hindi that 3 किलोवाट तक के सोलर प्लांट पर 40% की सब्सिडी और 3 किलोवाट के बाद 10 किलोवाट तक 20% की सब्सिडी केंद्र सरकार द्वारा मिलेगी. That means once if you want to install the solar photovoltaic system at their rooftop of their houses, then the government is availing up to 40% of percent of subsidies for the installation of about 3 kilowatt, less than 3 kilowatt solar PV system. And for up from 3 kilowatt to the 10 kilowatt, there is the subsidy of 20%, which will be given by the government of India. Further, there is one more scheme for the solar rooftop system, that is for the government offices, government and private offices, and for the industrial use. So, however, there is no such a subsidies for the installation of solar PV systems on offices and industries, but the benefit of installing such solar PV systems on offices and industries, uh, it has been already researched that 1 kilowatt of energy can be generated from 10 square meter of the space. Further, the once the installation of the solar PV systems has been installed, it will work for around 25 years, while the total expenditure which has been occurred during the installation of that PV system will be covered in within 5 to 6 years, as per the data given by the MNRE, Government of India. So in such a way, once they have installed the solar PV systems at their rooftop, and through the net metering, they can utilize that solar energy, that energy generated themselves, and they can also sell the energy to the distribution companies, government distribution companies. So this is about the solar rooftop installation schemes. Then the other scheme which I have discussed in the introduction is that Prime Minister Kisan Urja Suraksha Utthan Mahabhiyan. So in this scheme there are two different ways. In the first way, farmers can use their unused lands which is not used for the purpose of agriculture, for the farming, which is not used for the purpose of farming. So that land can be used for the installation of solar plants. The power will be purchased by the discoms, which should be there in the 5 kilometer of periphery. So any farmer who have unused land, or the land where the farming is not there, can be used to install the solar PV systems. So there is the condition that the land must be within the periphery of nearest uh, grid substation of any discom, 5 kilometer periphery of nearest grid substation of any discom. So it is written here in Hindi. This again has been taken from the website of MNRE. इससे भूस्वामी को, that means once it has been installed, a farmer will get a rupee up to 1 lakh up to the next 25 years from a land of about 1 acre. Again, I already said that the land which is to be used for the installation of solar plant must be there within the 5 kilometer periphery of any nearest substation. Further, one more thing is that the farmer can also either can install their selves, or he can give the land on lease to some industrialists for setup of for the installation of the solar PV systems. So this is one of the way for the farmers under the KUSUM project, that is Prime Minister Kisan Urja Suraksha and Utthan Mahabhiyan. Then the second way, here is the second way, which is for the farmers to utilize the solar energy, that is the installation of the solar water pump. So in this scheme, there is the subsidies provided from the government. The government is also providing subsidies to farmers for the installation of solar water pumps. Subsidy of 30% from state and 30% from central government can be availed. So there is much availability of the incentives for the farmers when they install solar water pumps at their at their farms. So one other thing is that here it can be seen in the poster that uh, इसके अतिरिक्त बैंकों के द्वारा 30% तक ऋण की सुविधा मिल सकती है. दैट मीन्स वन फार्मर कैन गेट दी loan of about 30% of the installation cost of solar water pump. So that means up to total of up to 90% of the installation cost can be received by a farmer when he install a solar water pump at their farmhouse, because 30% subsidy is given by the state and then 30% is given by the center, and next 30% can be get from the in terms of loan from any bank or some society. So further, the solar pump will run up for the 25 years, and there is no need of much maintenance of such an stationary system, because once the solar PV system has been installed, there is not much maintenance, because there is no moving parts in solar PV systems, and that is why there is a lesser maintenance costs. So these are two schemes for the farmers to utilize the solar photovoltaic system or the solar energy. Then further is I have already discussed that one enterprises has been set up by the government of India, that is Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited, under the MNRE, that is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India, who is providing the support for the installation of solar park. So basically this scheme or the SECI is helping to the industrialists who can set up the solar parks up to the 500 megawatt. So here I am just reading the content written on the slide, that the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, that is MNRE, Government of India, has drawn a scheme to set up a number of solar parks across various states in the country, each with a capacity of solar project generally above 500 megawatt. So nearly about 500 megawatt, one wants to set up a solar park of 500 megawatt, then the government of India is helping to them or supporting them for the setup of such a solar park. The scheme proposes to provide financial support for the infrastructure necessary for setting up new solar power projects in terms of allocation of land, since this is the amount of generated power from such a solar park is about 500 megawatt. So the requirement of land is very much. Further, the other requirement is also there. So this SECI or the Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited is handling the project in terms of allocation of land, transmission and evacuation lines, access roads, availability of water, etc. So such kind of support in these terms will be availed by the SECI. The implementation agency would be Solar Energy Corporation of India, as I already said, SECI, on behalf of Government of India. The SECI will handle funds to be made available under the scheme on behalf of Government of India. So basically this fund will be released from the Government of India, but this fund will be taken care by the SECI. However, there is the coordination in between the center and state government for the utilization of fund. So the SECI will take care of all the funds. As per the policy, these solar parks will be developed in collaboration with the state governments. The states shall designate a nodal agency for implementation of the solar park. Further, the parks will be characterized by well-developed proper infrastructure, but the risk and congestion period of the project will be minimized. So that will be a nodal agency from the state and the SECI from the central government will take care of all the things to set up a solar park. So this is one of the scheme for the industrialist, I must say. So an industrialist who wants to set up a solar park of about 500 megawatt, he can apply it SECI. Further, as I already said, there is one institute has been set up by the Government of India for the research and development relevant to the solar energy. So NISE is one of the institute, National Institute of Solar Energy. So this is an autonomous institution of Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Government of India. It is the apex national R&D, that is research and development institution in the field of solar energy. This institute assists the ministry in implementing the national solar mission and to coordinate research, technology and other relevant related works. So this NISE, that is National Institute of Solar Energy, is involved in demonstration, standardization, interactive research, training and testing solar technologies and systems. So these works are being carried out by this institution. It is an effective interface between the government and institutions, industry and other user organizations for development, promotion and widespread utilization of solar energy in the country. Further, the National Institute of Solar Energy is maintaining a NABL accredited solar photovoltaic module testing laboratory, lighting system test laboratory, battery testing facility, and a water pumping system test rig and outdoor test facilities. Since we have already discussed that this water pumping system is used by the government to avail the subsidies to the farmers to set up this pumping system, solar water pumping system. So the testing and then accreditation of such a pumping station will be provided by this NISE, that is National Institute of Solar Energy. Furthermore, the center has fully developed testing facility for a small and large size solar thermal systems and solar resource assessment. It has a 1 megawatt solar thermal research and development power project. So basically this 1 megawatt solar thermal R&D project is there at the NISE institute itself. It was implemented with in the collaboration with the IIT Bombay. This is it there in the NISE institute. So basically this institute is supporting the use of solar energy or the research and development of the solar relevant to the solar energy. So that is why it has world-class laboratories in itself. Further, there is one more international alliance is also there for the promotion and research and development and technology sharing in between is also there, which is internationally working. So objective of this ISA, that is one alliance, International Solar Alliance is there. So objective of this International Solar Alliance is that so parties hereby establish an International Solar Alliance through which they will collectively address key common challenges to the scaling up of solar energy in line with their needs. Many countries face gaps in the potential solar energy manufacturing ecosystem, absence of universal access, energy equity and affordability are issues common to most of the solar resource among rich countries. So some countries are there uh, which are not able to afford the expenditure made on the solar energy. So some other countries can avail the technology or some research to them, and they can install the solar systems with the help of this ISA, International Solar Alliance. So this International Solar Alliance is looking on a union of solar resource rich countries to address their special energy needs and will provide a platform to collaborate on addressing identified gaps through a common agreed approach. So the members of this alliance take coordinated action through programs and activities launched on a voluntarily basis aimed at better harmonizing and aggregating demand for solar finance, solar technologies, innovation, research and development, and capacity building. So this alliance is basically of a number of countries. It is about 86 countries have signed the framework agreement of this International Solar Alliance. Here, this is the snapshot taken from the website of this International Solar Alliance, where all the members are present in the presidentship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is the Prime Minister of India. So this is all about the various schemes and policies which are there provided by the state and central government for the installation of solar PV systems and or the utilization of solar energy. So thank you very much.